Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope this video finds everyone in good health and in good spirits. There's been a couple changes. Mainly, the name of the channel now is called Critical Thinking. I figured since that's what I speak about so much, I might as well make that the channel name. So I had some help, had somebody show me how to do it because I did not know how to change the name. Um, Someone made a comment on one of the videos, and believe it or not, it was a family member wanting to know if I would tell everyone who I'm voting for and the reasons why. And like I've said in past videos, I'll never tell anyone who to vote for. Uh, I believe that what I would like to see happen is people just use their own brains and do the research on your own. Don't just take the word of others. Don't take my word. If I say something on this channel, it is only an opinion. And like the old saying goes, opinions are like shoes. Everybody's got at least one or two. So I thought about it, and maybe she's right. Maybe I should tell folks how I feel. I'd like to say I don't really want it to influence anyone on how to make their vote, how to spend their one precious vote that they get. But there's a few things that really matter to me. Uh, I do believe in the Constitution, and I'm sure that a lot of folks on both sides believe in the Constitution. Um, I believe in the First Amendment. Uh, Freedom of speech is very important. Over the last several years, I've seen people on both sides uh, cancel each other out because someone didn't like their opinion, or they tried to stifle them and not let them speak their mind. And I just think if you give up that right, that is going to be the end of our country. So, what's kept this country going for so long, as I've said in the past, is our Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And this cancel thing, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, I believe in small government. Since our country has been founded, our government has done nothing but grow. I mean, in obese fashion, in the craziest things I've ever seen. Um, we've got to make our government smaller. We've got to get the power back to the people. I believe that right now it's going to be a hard fight because this whole beautiful country of ours is governed by a 10-mile square radius called Washington, D.C. Those people in Washington are not held accountable to anything they do by the citizens. The only crimes that they'll ever be held accountable to or for is crimes that make their opposition party upset, and then something will be done against the person. Uh, it's just it's a horrible thing, folks. If you just wake up, step outside your comfort zone, turn your TV off of whatever certain channel you're watching for news, and flip it on that channel that you don't like, that you don't agree with, and then listen to the propaganda, and then go do your own research. I believe that the Democrats and Republicans are all crooks. That's my personal opinion. It's just an opinion, but there's several issues that are considered and called wedge issues that everybody agrees with until whoever gets in charge has control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They have full reign to correct the problem, but they won't. The only reason that they won't correct the problem is because they need that wedge issue. If they go up there and they solve our problems, what do we need them for? These crooks believe that once you get into the good old boys club, they believe that they have tenure for life. We don't need tenure for life. We need term limits on both sides. These crooks on both sides have done nothing but grow this government. It is a massive, massive whale right now, and it's eating all the little minnows up. They've taken our freedoms away. These fine, intelligent folks up there in Washington believe it's a good thing to destroy our monetary system. They want us all to use plastic cards, digital currency. They're idiots. They are stone cold idiots. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, but if you want these idiots to have the ability to have all of us running around with digital numbers that we can purchase things with, and they have the ability to turn them on and off at any time, this country is over. They've already completed 2 of the 3 steps that they need to destroy this country. The administration, in my opinion, right now, has done a fabulous job of destroying this country. All they've got left, which they're working on it, is they want to overpopulate the Supreme Court and fill it with, I won't call them Democrats, I call them Marxist socialists. But once they get that Second Amendment right away from the American people, that is when it's truly over. Luckily, we've got some folks that are fighting hard for us on the right for the Second Amendment. Now, I've told you a little bit about how I feel. Now then, I'm not wealthy by no stretch of the imagination, but if I can do my part to put out information to open the eyes of my fellow Americans to not take what I say to heart, but to open their minds to go out and do some research on your own. It's the same old thing when it comes to every election season. Republicans are racist. Well, I'm going to vote Republican this year. I don't think where Joe Biden has taken us is in a good direction. I don't know if this video is going to stay up very long. I don't know if I've broken any YouTube rules because I don't know anything about social media. But these are just some of the reasons why I can't vote for someone who I believe hates this country. And in my opinion, he hates this country. From everything I've seen and I've done research on myself, most of it coming from our own government. The man sitting right now at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. is one of the biggest crooks that's ever been president. And it's amazing that so many people will protect him just because they believe that he's going to vote for policies and use his pen and his phone for executive orders to sign into law things that they want. Uh, like I said, both left, both right, all crooks. Uh, Let me rephrase this. Not all of them are crooks. I think some of them go to Washington with good intentions. But once they get there and they see all the perks that they have, they've got their own little gymnasiums and they've got all their nice little restaurants down underneath the Senate. Uh, they get driven around, and all of these lobbyists that live in Washington, D.C., take them out, spend a lot of money on them. You know, well, I'd really like your vote, and I'd like to make a donation to your campaign. You're a crook. You're a piece of trash if you'll sell out our country. And that's basically what they do. And but don't worry, we will pay for it. You know, we'll pay for it. You know, we'll let them go up there and lie to us and say they're going to go represent us in Washington, D.C. And the first thing they do when they get there, once they get off the boat, is they start putting their hands out. They're looking for people to put some money in it. They're con artists. But don't take what I say and go out and vote a certain direction. I want you to go out and do research. I want you to go out and form your own educated opinion, not off hearsay, not off anything I say. This country has been placed in the trash heap. If the American people doesn't take control of this country, we won't have a country. We can't go out and just let our borders wide open and let whoever wants to come across bring drugs into our country. And yes, there are some bad people coming into our country. And yes, there's a lot of good people want to come into our country. Do it the right way. Do it legally. There's a huge human smuggling problem going on, and our administration knows it. They won't lift a finger to stop it. Whether you're on the left or the right, I mean, I'm sure you're compassionate. And I'm sure that you don't believe that these things should be taking place. They come over here and they take our jobs because they'll work cheaper than us. Now, you're going to hear some stuff about, well, they come over here and do the jobs Americans won't. No, that's not right. That's not the truth. That is a lie. It's just one of their talking points. I watch a lot of politics on both sides. I listen to a lot of propaganda. And then I do research. I find out if these people are telling the truth. And, you know, strangely enough, they both lie. But you got to try to weed that out. When you got someone that you send to Washington to represent you, he's supposed to represent you, your state, or if it's a state government, he's there to represent your whole state. If it's county, or they're there to represent the people of their own county. But what they do when they get up there is they represent themselves and all the other states. If someone's going to tell me that cities like Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland are better off now than they were 4 years ago, I have statistics to prove otherwise. Economic statistics, crime statistics. I think one of the worst things that we have in this country is that we get to watch our representatives on a news program or a news clip for 3 or 4 minutes. 3 minutes is the average. And they get up there and they lie like rats and they say the things that they think their constituents want to hear. And then they leave there and then they go back with their hand out and they visit with their lobbyists and the big corporations. And just open your eyes. Do some research. One of the things that I disagree wholeheartedly with, and I don't have a problem with them per se as them living their lives, is this transgender. Okay, now if you're transgender, that's fine. I would like you to live your life and I would like you to be happy. But if you're a man and you look like you're a man to me, I'm probably going to call you sir. And if you was to request me to, speak to you in any other way, I wouldn't. I would not be disrespectful. But I don't think that we should be teaching our children this in school. Every election year we give more and more and more money to our schools. And it's not helping our children. Our children are struggling. Struggling right now worse than they ever have in history because we went through COVID. But at some point, you got to ask yourself, if we're throwing millions and millions and billions of dollars at our school system and it's not bringing our test scores up, it's not helping our students become more intelligent, more brighter, more socially functioning in a society where we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. You gotta say, look, we've given you enough money. Apparently you're not allocating this money in the proper fashion. Maybe the teachers you're hiring, maybe they need to go through some certification or let them do their job and be judged on their job by their merits, not because they show up to teach with blue hair. And I know I'm being facetious, but that's just how I feel. Now, mind you, that's just my opinion. I'm not an educated individual. I've never been to college, although I've driven by a few of them. Nice looking places. Looks like great indoctrination camps to me. Like I say, just do research on your own. Do not take what I say to heart. It's just an opinion. And if you enjoy this video or you like anything I say, give it the old thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, or leave a comment. If you think anything I've said is untrue, not factual, leave a comment. I will definitely, engage in dialogue with you. And if I'm wrong, you can show me where I'm wrong. If any statement that I've made is not factual, let me know. I'm only human. I'm not a politician, so I'm not a professional liar. I just want the people that are watching these videos to open their eyes, open their minds, and open their hearts. Stop canceling people just because they have an opinion different than yours. That's not what we are. That's not who we are. We're not to judge. It's not our job to judge one another. Now, we can judge policies, we can judge politics. We know if someone is doing something and lying to us. You know, there's a saying that I like to use. You know, the mouse in the mousetrap, they never ask why the cheese is free. Why do you think our government gives poor people just enough money, just enough food stamps, just enough housing to exist? Not to live or not to get off of government assistance, but just enough to keep you in a certain place economically. That money they're giving you is not free. Those food stamps are not free. That housing is not free. You have to do something in return for that. They want you to keep voting the way you're voting. And they'll make a promise to you that they'll keep you economically in the position you're in now. See, I firmly believe that we have the government that we voted for. And I believe that you will always get the government you vote for. Until we take back power from the crooks in Washington. Your life, my life, our lives as American citizens are just going to continue going down the same old path. But if you don't open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on, at least educate yourself, decide what is best for you and your family. If you believe to vote for a particular political party based on economics or military, whatever they believe in on the right, or if you believe that you should vote and it would be best for you and your family if you vote for people who believe that everything is a social agenda. Everything is social. Now, I believe a certain way. I kind of lean conservative, but because I believe the thing that will ultimately destroy our country is multiculturalism. You can have different races coexist together happy. Different ethnicities coexist together happily. When you start mixing cultures, that's where all these social problems come from. We let people come into our country. We let them come here legally. But they have to assimilate. In other words, if you want to come to America, you think it's the greatest country in the world, which I believe it is, then you need to come over here. And if you cannot speak English, you need to learn to speak English. You need to assimilate with the people that are here. When you come over here, you don't need to just stay in a little section where the government wants to put you and keep you there. You need to assimilate. Hang on just a second here. We're fixing to take care of that little problem. There'll be no more ringy-dingy. That's got to go. Now it's gone. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you come over here legally. We will welcome you with open arms. We will do whatever we can to help you to make your life a much better place to live than where you came from whatever country it is. If you come over here with love in your heart and you're willing to follow our laws, we welcome you 100%. If you come over here illegally, you want to bring fentanyl, You want to bring drugs into our country. You want to come over here, drink and drive, go down the highway, hit an SUV with 5 family members in it and kill them, and then to say, no, I want to go back. Well, I believe we should let you go back as soon as you spend the rest of your life in one of our fine penal institutions. That's just me. I believe you deserve every right that every American citizen has. And if I'm over here doing ignorant stuff and I hurt somebody, I believe I should be punished for it. I will reiterate, do not take my opinions and decide you're going to vote just because of the way I vote. I want you to do it because you did the research. Say you want to vote the other direction, that's fine. I don't want you to vote after you've done the research and then you've come to the conclusion that you want to vote the other direction. That way, there's no denying that you too will get the government that you vote for. Thanks again, everyone, for watching.